She got constant comment that it was a great tea.
Yes.
So can you talk to me a little bit about the history, about your grandmother, and about your inspiration?
Well, it is neat. We are very fortunate that we are still 100% family owned and operated. And it is something that my grandmother started. She was always an entrepreneur. She was an interior designer, and my grandfather was in publishing and then actually a broker for foods. And when the Depression hit, they lost everything. And so she really thought about what she could do for the family, what kind of business she could start. And she realized there wasn't a good tea in this country. And so it was just plain black tea at that time. So she found an old colonial recipe. She worked on it for actually several years with a friend of hers. And they perfected it, sent it off to a group of women who enjoyed it, and the next day said it was a source of constant comment. And she loved that name because she sort of, to her it meant like, when you drink this product you want to just talk about it, which is so true back then especially. So that was sort of our beginning, our roots. She was an entrepreneur though, as I said. She was involved with a lot of different products, and it was really my father that really made her focus on tea and really extended the line. And so now we're very lucky. We are the #1 specialty tea company in the United States. We're #1 in green, #1 in blacks, and #2 in the herbal, but the overall specialty. I'm very happy that what started in my grandmother's kitchen is still so successful 70 years later. And when you ask me, for me, my entrepreneurial spirit, or how do I keep that going, I just try to always remember how the company started, to never lose those touch points, but also to make sure that I'm keeping us relevant. Some people will say, well, that's my grandmother's tea. Well, it certainly was. It was my grandmother's tea. But how do I also make it the tea of the millennials and the young people, and women and families that are just starting families for the first time? That's a very important touch point for them, and getting involved with tea. So I'm constantly reinventing and trying to reinvent what we do, how we do it, etc. So it's a big job, trust me, to try to keep that entrepreneurial spirit going in this company 70 years later.
It's fascinating, and one of the things that I really struck me was the mission statement of the company. And the overall statement is to, and correct me, you can tweak it for me, but do the right thing and good things will follow.
Absolutely.
And can you talk to me a little bit about how that plays out in this era?
Well, it's sort of the philosophy that I've always had, and I just said, you do things for the right reason. I sort of look at it as a mosaic of touch points. If you just do the right thing and you're constantly putting down the right touch points of doing them, they're going to eventually come together for a beautiful picture. And that's how I try to run the